Picture the Comac C919, China's flagship jet, gleaming on a Shanghai runway, grounded before it can fly. This aircraft was meant to challenge Boeing and Airbus, symbolizing China's ambition to join aviation's elite, but a crisis hit. U.S. sanctions abruptly cut off access to the C919's American-French LEAP-1C engines. These sanctions, citing national security, blocked critical technology and halted the C919's progress overnight. Without its engines, the C919 became a billion-dollar shell. Orders frozen, production lines stalled. The US feared China would use advanced tech for military gains, so it drew a hard line. The result? A global supply chain in chaos, with hundreds of Western suppliers suddenly caught in the crossfire. The C919, once a symbol of progress, now exposed China's dependence on foreign technology. The project's future, and China's aviation dream, hung in the balance. The world watched as a political standoff turned a national triumph into a cautionary tale. The C919's fate was no longer just about engineering, but about who controls the future of flight. Could China find a way to get its jet off the ground? For years, Boeing and Airbus ruled the skies, with China as their biggest customer, but China wanted more, to build its own planes and break the Western monopoly. The C919 was the centerpiece of this ambition, a key part of China's plan to lead in high-tech industries. Yet, the project had a glaring weakness. China couldn't produce the world-class jet engines it needed. Despite massive investment, China's homegrown engines lagged far behind. Over half the C919's major systems, from engines to avionics, came from Western suppliers. The US sanctions exposed this vulnerability, showing how a single decision in Washington could halt China's progress. The C919, meant to showcase independence, instead revealed deep reliance on foreign technology. China had built the body of a world-class jet, but not the heart. The dream of aviation dominance was suddenly at risk. Would China find a way to close this critical gap? At the core of every jetliner is its engine, the heart that makes flight possible. The C919 was designed around the LEAP-1C, a cutting-edge engine known for efficiency and low emissions. Swapping engines isn't simple. It would mean redesigning the entire aircraft in years of delays. China's backup, the CJ-1000A, was still years from being ready for commercial use. The US sanctions targeted the C919's most irreplaceable part, leaving China with a plane but no power. Every day without an engine meant mounting costs and a risk of total failure. Beijing urgently needed a solution, but Western technology was now out of reach. The search for alternatives became a national priority. Could China find a new heart for its jet and save its aviation dream? The answer would require thinking far beyond traditional partners. The next move would change the global aviation game. The world waited to see if China could pull off the impossible. The stakes had never been higher. With Western doors slammed shut, China turned to Russia for help. Russia, also under heavy sanctions, had developed the PD-14 engine for its own MC-21 jet. Both nations needed to break free from Western tech, and saw an opportunity in partnership. Could Russia's PD-14 power the C919, defying US sanctions? This move would signal a new, non-Western aerospace alliance. The two countries already had a joint venture for a wide-body jet, laying the groundwork for deeper cooperation. Russia brought engine expertise. China brought manufacturing scale and market demand. Together, they aimed to keep their aviation ambitions alive and challenge US dominance. Russia's entry turned a trade dispute into a high-stakes geopolitical chess match. The future of global aviation was suddenly up for grabs. Getting Russian engines to China wasn't as simple as shipping a box. US sanctions reached far, targeting banks and companies worldwide. To bypass this, Russia and China built a secretive system, trading in rubles and yuan, avoiding US-controlled financial networks. They used state-owned logistics, overland routes, and private carriers to keep shipments off Western radar. Russian engineers also worked to replace any Western parts in the PD-14, making it truly sanctions-proof. This new Silk Road for high-tech goods let China keep the C919 project alive. It was a masterclass in sanctions evasion, financial secrecy, logistical independence, and technological substitution. The C919's revival was a testament to determination and ingenuity, but it also raised the stakes in the global tech rivalry. The world was watching and taking notes. News of Russia supplying engines to China sent shockwaves worldwide. In Washington, frustration grew. Some called for even tougher sanctions, others warned of pushing China and Russia closer. Beijing celebrated the partnership as a win for self-reliance and defiance against US pressure. For Western aerospace giants, the move threatened to create a powerful new competitor outside traditional rules. Airlines and suppliers worried about a fragmented market and rising costs. Developing nations saw a possible blueprint for resisting US sanctions. The C919's engine saga became a symbol of shifting global power. The world order was changing, and the aviation industry was at the center of it. The question, would this new alliance reshape the skies or spark deeper divides? The answer would have consequences far beyond aviation. The stakes had never been higher. The C919 saga is more than a story about one jet. It's a glimpse into the future of global technology and trade. We may be seeing the start of a new Cold War, not with missiles, but with engines and microchips. The world could split into rival tech blocs, one led by the US, the other by China and Russia. Airlines might have to choose sides, raising costs and complicating global travel. This rivalry could drive innovation, but also create inefficiencies and barriers. China and Russia are now pouring resources into their own tech, determined to catch up. The West can't assume it will always lead. The C919's journey is a warning. Geopolitics can upend industries overnight. The challenge for world leaders: protect security without destroying the benefits of global cooperation. The future of aviation and the global order hangs in the balance. What happens next will shape the skies for decades to come. The race for the future of flight has just begun.